Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Hello, Miss Marie. We finally got online. Things finally worked.
The gremlins must be at it today. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, that was strange, to say the least. Sorry, folks, that we were late. As you can tell, we had technical difficulties, and we hate to have that much silent time. But unfortunately, sometimes those things happen when you're dealing with technology, and we had a glitch and at the last minute. And obviously, we were scrambling, trying to figure out what it was. So anyway, we got it fixed. And now we're live. Hopefully, we have my fingers crossed, got my toes crossed, my eyes crossed, and my legs crossed that we will have no further technical difficulties. All right. And the funny thing is that I was scrambling for the last 25 minutes. The wife had a Zoom meeting, and she rarely has a problem. Her laptop, which we never have a problem with, was really being a challenge, and we could not get into that daggone program, the Zoom meeting. And so that was for one of the twins. One of the twins has Downs, and they have weekly meetings with, I wouldn't say counselors, I guess physical therapists, whatever the case may be, where they specialize in helping Downs children. So that was aggravating. So it went from her screaming around trying to get that to work to come in here and this thing wouldn't work. And I've been on it all morning. As usual, I was up all night. And not that that's important, but the point is I didn't have a problem with the computer at all. And
well, you gotta pick up your feet when you're walking, Rob. You can't be shuffling your feet. That static electricity will goof up those computers every time.
There you go. That's what it is. All right. Well, for whatever reason, the computer, after working all night, I decided I ain't doing it now. And so I thank God I didn't have to turn it off and come back. Man, that would have been a mess. All right. With that being said, guys, we are talking about an important subject today. As you know, it is music to the ears message. Why do you need to use it? What is it? What kind of impact can it have? And why is it so important to your business? We're going to cover all that and more as we get our show started. But as usual, we started with our, there we go, our famous gong. That's how we start our show. And we are ready and raring to go. Miss Marie, once again, good morning. It's Tuesday, August 4th at 11:13. Eastern Standard Time. That's the latest we've ever started.
Well, sometimes we can't help it, right? Time flies when you're having fun, and it goes even faster when you're battling those computer gremlins. So
yeah. Well, the good thing is I don't panic in situations like that. I've always been the type of person to maintain a calm head, and I certainly did there. Panicking is not going to do anything but freeze you in the spot, in the moment, and really puts a lot of extra stress that you don't need to deal with in situations like that. When things go bad, you have to say, okay, you know what, let's just calm down. The world's not coming to an end. You're not going to die from this. So let's just focus on the basics. Let's do what we need to do. And, you just move forward from there, right? Eventually it'll work itself out.
Exactly. And hopefully our live viewers were patient enough to hang out and give us a chance to get things corrected and get started. And they're hanging with us now. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Yeah, exactly. Well put. And thank you for that insight there, Miss Marie. Well, Miss Marie, we have a great subject today. One I'm looking forward to. I like this subject. It's one of my favorites. And, this is one of those often overlooked little business building tactics that people really don't give much thought to and really don't give much credit to. And that's a big mistake because as we unfold this episode, this is it's one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal, guys. And you cannot diminish the impact this thing can have. As we've talked about over the last couple of days, it all starts with the smallest little things, okay? And I mean the duplication process. Yesterday, we talked about product or opportunity. Which one do you lead with and why? And that was a powerful episode. And it goes hand in hand with this one right here. And you say, well, why do you say that? Because look, the thing is that when you lead with the product, it's a totally different message than when leading with the opportunity. Would you not agree, Miss Marie?
That is very accurate. You're appealing to a different type of person with a different type of mindset and different goals overall for the type of success they want to achieve.
Couldn't have said it any better. There it is right there, guys. What she said is exactly what I would have said myself. And that is exactly what we're going to talk about today, so that you understand what she said is absolutely spot on. Okay. And the thing is that you have to make a determination. I created a product a long time ago, and it's called Determine the Type of Business You Want. I also created another one that says Determine what you want from this business. And then finally, the last one is Determine what type of lifestyle you want from this business. And you say, well, why did you write three or create three different products that are similar yet different titles? Because each one of those things is a mindset. Each one of those things address a certain person, just like she talked about. She nailed it. It's all about what you want. Okay. If you're a product-led person, guess what? It's a totally different approach, totally different mindset, totally different business. And the results you're going to get are going to be totally different, more times than not, 9 times out of 10, than what you would do with an opportunity-led. So each one of those products are addressing, and believe me, I didn't want to create each one of those products because they are very similar, but they're vastly different, because it all starts right here with the mindset. And what you focus on, you're going to get. And your body, the actions your body takes, is going to follow what you start with right here. Okay. If you envision making $3,500 a month and you're happy with that, you're going to work your tail end off until you either get close to that goal, exceed that goal, or you hit that goal spot on. Once you do, guess what? Your mind says, okay, guys, we can stop now because we've reached our goal. Okay. We have mission is complete. So we can stop. And that's what happens. Okay, well, it's no different when you're starting out. You're saying, this is what I want. What kind of activity do I have to apply to this business model to get to where I want to be? So it all starts there. There's a reason why each one of those products, even though they're similar, are different. Why do I bring that up? Because it all ties into what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, you have to determine what it is you want from this business, what kind of lifestyle, what kind of income. When you do, that determines the message. The message we're talking about today, guys, is totally about the opportunity. Why? Because we talked about it yesterday, and Miss Marie can vouch for this. Guys, if you're going to build this business, shoot for the stars, right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely. And there's always going to be a higher level of success, a higher level of income that you're going to be able to achieve by pursuing the opportunity aspect first rather than the product.
And right. And if you shoot for the stars, Miss Marie, if you decide along the way the price is too high, you can backpedal and still have a great life.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the saying? Shoot for the stars, and at worst, you'll hit the top of the mountain, something like that.
Shoot for the stars, and the worst you'll get is the moon.
Okay.
I just had to throw that in there. The mountains obviously are far better. A little humor there. So anyway, the point is that she's right again. You know what? We talked about this yesterday, so we're not going to elaborate a lot. You can go back and listen to yesterday's episode, which should be, I forget the episode number, but if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see it. It's in chronological order. But the point is that yesterday was August 3rd, and I always put the dates on our episodes, whether it's a podcast or the video, so you would easily be able to find it. But the point is, we talked about that yesterday. Look, if you're going to build this business, because it's the same tool, same effort, same commitment, blah, 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 you might as well go ahead and shoot for the stars, like she said, because you can always, if you get up to $5,000 a month and you say, I'm happy here, I don't want 10,000, I don't want to put any more effort into this, guess what? You can stop, and that's awesome. Nobody's going to judge you for that, okay? So with that being said, it all leads to what the topic is today, and that is the music to the ears. And why did I title it Music to the Ears? Because that's exactly what this is. This is almost an aphrodisiac to those that are entrepreneurs. They're like, in their mind, think about it. If you got somebody that's an executive or somebody that's a business owner, somebody that's a professional, whatever the case may be, and they're tired, they silently are in desperation inside. I'm tired of doing this. I've got too much into this and to walk away from it completely. Some people do. Some people sell their business and walk away, and kudos to them. And hopefully they retired. Some people are workaholics and they'll never retire, but that's okay. But then there's people that want their lifestyle. They really, and believe it or not, they actually like their family, And the thing is that they want to spend time with their family. They want to have a better quality of life. They have the money. And guys, believe me, you say, oh, nobody like that would want to be in this business. Guys, I can tell you story after story after story of personal experience. I have sponsored business owners. I have sponsored multimillionaires. I don't mean just millionaires, multimillionaires. And you know why? Because they did not have time. They had no control, none whatsoever. That business, that job owned them, literally owned them. They were traveling all the time. They were stressed out. They weren't sleeping good. They weren't eating good. They weren't with their family. And it was affecting their career, was affecting their personal life. And they had reached an age where climbing the corporate ladder or whatever it was they were doing was not important to them anymore. And then, counting the money wasn't important to them anymore. They wanted what? The one thing that all of us cannot create: time. Okay. Everybody here has a certain amount of heartbeats. Everybody here has a certain amount of breaths, and that's it. And nobody knows when that's coming. God willing, it's going to be well into everybody's 80s or 90s healthy, 80s or 90s. Okay. But the point is, nobody knows that day. We all know that. Nobody has to have a scientific research done to prove that we all know that we have a limited time on this earth, period. So these guys have made the money, and I should say that includes women. But what I'm saying is these guys are used to having money. They're used to success, but they don't have the one thing they can't control, as I said, and that's time. So do you have a product? And I don't mean the product where you're taking a juice, putting makeup on, and skincare. That's not what I'm saying. Do you have a product that they can relate to? Do you have a message that they can relate to? Yes. What's the product? Leverage. Duplication, which equals what? Freedom. Okay, you don't get personal freedom in this. We always say you got to have the money in order to have the lifestyle. And with the lifestyle comes the freedom. That's true. But you have to realize there's another thing that creates that time freedom. Okay. And even with the money, if you don't have this, look, I know people, and this is leading up to us getting started, but I got to set the stage. Look, I have been around people that were making $25,000 to $30,000 a week. I saw their checks personally. Okay. $25,000 to $30,000 a week in their network marketing company. They were working 20 hours a day. Literally. They were a slave to their business because they built it wrong. They were scared to death to stop. They had already spent the money. They had multi-million-dollar homes. They had all these cars. In other words, they had all the material. They were a slave to the material things that the business that they were in and the company they were with created them as a slave to that lifestyle. That's not the way you want to build this business, folks. That's totally the polar opposite of what we teach. You don't want that. Okay.
I was going to say, recognize what Rob's talking about here. There are a lot of seemingly successful people out there that the average American will look at and say, oh, they're super successful and they're happy because they have a large income. They have a lot of money. And that may be the case, but on the backside of it, you don't necessarily know that what they're lacking is the time to enjoy all that money that they have. So never discount a potential prospect because you think they're already uber successful in terms of the income that they're making. Now, because they're making that income, they have attained a certain lifestyle that they don't want to back off of. And that's where our leverage and our opportunity comes into play, where we can supplement that and eventually build to that same level of income, but also provide that time freedom as well. It's very attractive to successful people.
It is. Well said again. That is valuable input, and she is absolutely right, guys. Here's what happens. And I've personally experienced it many times, but here's the thing. What I'm saying is there are two things here. They have the money, they have I guess you could say they have the lifestyle, but they don't have time freedom. And you got to realize that you got to have a message that touches on both. And you got to realize that duplication creates leverage. Leverage gives them more time while maintaining a certain income level in this business, okay? Whatever it is, the income level they want. So if you are able with your words to relay to them in a short, concise, and very pointed statement that you have a hold of something that will meet their needs, and they're not going to sit there and broadcast. It's not like it's on their forehead blinking like a billboard, okay, or a marquee. It is, they're sitting there. Most successful people are going to be quiet. They listen. They're very analytical. They're evaluating things, and they're going to sit there and listen. And they may have a stern face. They may have a quiet face. You got to just look past that, okay? Like I told you, I always look people in the eyes. I don't care what their mannerisms are. I am watching for uncertainty and distaste. I do that, as I told you before. But the point is, I know with the music to the ears message I'm relaying, that message contains everything anybody could be looking for: money, time, freedom, and lifestyle. That's the reason why the music to the ears message is so powerful. And I'll paraphrase it here in a minute. I will not release the music to the ears message word for word in any podcast or any video, because guess what? Only the members get access to the true music to the ears message, okay? So before I do the message, though, we got to lay the foundation of the power of it and how it affects everybody. That is opportunity. It falls in the opportunity category, okay? And you say, well, what do you mean? Well, look, if you're going to build a big business, as we advocate, shoot for the stars. That's what we're saying, because you can always back off. But you go in there, and because of the activity and everything's the same, so you're going to go in there, and if you use the music to the ears message, you are giving yourself and your business every chance possible to attract the type of people that will make this business go. That's what you want. And regardless of what level you want to build your business to, you got to have like-minded people join you. So with that being said, you got to realize that these people who have the money and everything are looking for time freedom. And as you relay the message to them, they're going to hear those key words, and they're going to start leaning forward, because they're going to think, oh my gosh, I may have something. If he's telling the truth, if what I'm hearing is true, I may have run into what I'm looking for. And they're going to sit there quietly. And when you get done with that message, well, like I told you, it's usually a minute. Well, it's 45 seconds to a minute 15, because it's all based on your speed of talk. It's all about your comfort level. You know, when it flows off your lips, it's about 45 seconds to a minute. If you're a little nervous and you kind of hee-haw around and add some extra words, it could be a minute 15. But it's the most powerful minute 15 that you'll ever speak, because you're going to attract. And you got to remember, the message is always designed. I don't care what message you use. It's always designed to do one of two things. What? Push people away or attract them to you, period. Okay. Now, when you go to a meeting, and this is a little side note, a golden nugget of information, guys, if you go to a meeting, please be shaved. Please look nice. Okay. Don't go into a meeting talking, using the music to the ears message, looking like you just got out of digging a ditch. Okay. Now, I'm exaggerating the point, but you get my idea. Now, if you are in a hurry and you've been out with the horses and you didn't have time to go take a shower, people understand that. If you say, hey, look, you know what? I've been out riding, teaching my grandkids to ride and blah, 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 and I didn't have time to go home. I'm sorry for my appearance, and maybe I smell and I don't know it too, but you get the point, okay? But more times than not, what do? You want to go to that meeting. You want to look good. You want to sit up. The posture is huge. And then the words have to flow off of your lips. You say, well, that's too much. You know, why can't I just say the words? You can, but good luck, okay? Because here's the thing. If you look around, and of course, as I get older, it doesn't always apply. I work my tail end off, and it doesn't seem like I can lose weight sometimes. But the point is, most successful people are health-conscious people. I'm not saying they're thin as rails. I'm saying that they typically take care of themselves. Their appearance is important to them. We're not applying to elitists or anything like that. What I'm saying, there are certain characteristics, and it doesn't mean, I've met many successful people that of all looks, sizes, and shapes, okay? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is people take you serious when they see that you take care of yourself, okay? I mean, imagine if you had someone that did not take a bath and wore raggedy clothes and hadn't shaved in a while, and they're sitting there and they have a hold of a great opportunity. and they're sitting there and you're looking at them and maybe smelling them, and they're delivering this message, and you can't get past their appearance or their smell to listen to the message. Okay, so that's a little piece of gold nugget. Don't you agree? I mean, I got to bring that up because you can't do that.
Well, like they always say, you never get a second chance to make a first impression, right? So especially if it's a first meeting, you don't have to be dressed to the nines, but you certainly want to be clean, well put together, and have a professional posture and air about you.
Absolutely. And guys, please, as she stated, don't dress to the nines. That's not what we're saying. If that's who you are, certainly do that, but be normal. That's what we're saying. Be normal. Okay. And if you're, like I said, if you're on the job and you're meeting them at lunchtime and you are dirty and stuff, just be honest with people, because when you do, it sets up the message. And the reason I bring this up, you say, well, why are you talking about this? Because it dilutes the message. You're going to be out there prospecting people. I could be meeting Marie, and she may walk away saying, well, you know what? That was a nice message, but that dude looked like a bum and he smelled to high heaven. I don't want to work with somebody like that. Regardless of what I said, she'll go out looking for somebody else that she has more in common with. You know, people say, oh, you're not supposed to judge people. Look, we're human beings. We judge things all the time. I like certain color versus another color. You know what? That is part of who we are. Okay. That is a decision. You could call that a discriminatory decision. The point is that we all have guidelines. We all have standards. And we say, hey, that's not the type of person I want to work with. And you can call it whatever you want. That's the person's right. Okay, so you got to have things working in your favor. You can't walk into a boardroom full of people that are well dressed or wear three-piece suits, wearing a swimming suit, and not shaved in 3 or 4 days, and once again haven't taken a shower. That's not going to work. Okay, and you got to realize this is your boardroom. This is no joke, right, Miss Marie? You meet people at Starbucks, that immediately becomes your boardroom. That's your business building office. That, you know, regardless of the noise that's going on, you and that person are focused on one another. And guess what? You got to put your best foot forward in the best way that you can, so that it does not take away from the message. So with that, now that we got that out of the way, we got that all settled, it'll put you in a position to now deliver that message. And as I told you before, this message is vitally important to your success because it all starts right here. And you're basically what you're saying to this individual, you say, hey, look, I've been around this industry for a long time. I am not a network marketer. And you say that because you're not afraid of the word network marketer or MLM. That's not the point. I'm not a network marketer. I am a professional business builder. I'm all about lifestyle and money. Now, as soon as you say that, within the first few seconds, you got their attention. Okay. And you got to say, I'm not afraid of being a network marketer, but I am a professional business builder. Because when they hear the word network marketing, they're immediately going to perk up. For good or bad, they're immediately going to perk up. And that's what you want. You want their total attention. And then you say, but I'm a professional business builder. I'm all about the lifestyle. I'm all about the money. Okay. And there again, you've got their attention. Okay. They're saying, okay, I can relate to this person because if what they're telling me is true, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Okay. And then I go on and say, look, I got a lot of experience in this industry. I know a good thing when I see it. I've run into a new company. New companies create 70% of the wealth in this industry, and that's where the money is. And I cannot build this business alone. I have to develop a team. I'm looking for people like myself, people that are go-getters, people that are successful, people that are used to setting goals and going after it, because we have to attack this thing aggressively. There's no guarantee. These companies are around for 1 to 3 years where this 70% of this wealth is created. I'm looking to put together a team that wants to work together to take advantage of this wonderful financial opportunity to create wealth. That money gives me the lifestyle that I expect of myself. I want to know if that's the type of person you are, if this kind of opportunity interests you. Okay. Now that's not word for word. Okay. Because I won't do it word for word. Okay. But you get my point. Okay, that was a lot of paraphrasing there. You see how quick that was? I even stuttered a little bit because it's been so long since I've said it. But did you see how easy it was? You see how it flowed? You see how it had the key words in there that has them like leaning forward and saying, oh, okay, I like what I'm hearing. You typically, what happens is in the end, they'll say, well, you know what? I'm really busy. That's a no. I'm really busy, and more times than not always. Sometimes they'll say, well, I'm really busy, but I think I might be able to squeeze something in. But a lot of times if they start out with, well, I'm really busy and got a full plate, that's a no. And right away, I know what I'm dealing with, and then I'll back up. Because remember, you love and you leave them, right? Because my job is not to convince them. It's not to say, well, maybe I didn't say it right. Let me tell you again, okay? My job is not to say, well, what are you looking for, okay? Because there's very little I can say. I've tried, believe me, many times, hundreds of times. It does not work, okay? And even if you convince somebody and they join, they're gone within a week because their heart's not in it. They never wanted to do it. They just were afraid to say no to you, okay? The bottom line is, guys, if they start backing up, let them back up, let them put it in reverse and get out of there. That's okay. The message did its job. It pushed that person away. They weren't looking for what I was offering. That's awesome. That means I don't have to waste my valuable time trying to drag them across the finish line. We want like-minded people. We want team members, right? We want partners, not antagonists, not energy drainers, not negative people, okay? Because you'll end up sponsoring somebody Murray, you've been there. What's the ingredients? What's the comp plan? How come the comp plan doesn't do this? How come the ingredients don't? This thing needs this ingredient. How come the owners don't have this experience instead of what the experience they have? Why? And you're just like, will you shut up? Get out there and build the business. Folks, I cut those people off so fast, it's not even funny. I'm not wasting my time. Okay. I've told people, I said, you know what? I'll come back in 5 years and you'll still be evaluating the product, the comp plan, and the company and the owners. You don't want people like that. Okay. So if they start backing up, let them back up, let them go beep, 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 let them back up and get out of there. Is that correct?
Yeah, usually what they're looking for is they're looking for an excuse to either not do the business, or if they've gotten into the business, they're looking for an excuse to not succeed. And all that ends up doing is turning into a time suck for you and benefits absolutely no one. So you're better off just letting them go right up front. Obviously, it's part of a sorting process. This music to the ears message, it's going to resonate with the correct people. And the people it doesn't resonate with, they're not the people you want to be trying to work with anyway. Just let them go. Whatever the situation is, maybe they're not the right personality type. Maybe they're not interested in that type of business. Or maybe it's just the timing is wrong. And that's where Rob uses that love them and leave them phrase. You leave them feeling good. You validate the fact that, hey, you understand their situation, but you make yourself available. If at any point in the future you think this is something you'd be interested in, hey, here's my number. Hold on to it. Give me a call whenever the time's right for you. I got to run with what I've got with the people I've got. So
there it is. There it is. And you know what, guys? You have to realize when the person's backing up, I'm excited because you know what it does? It allows me to lead that person to sponsor a Marie who could be a superstar. If I sit there and focus on that person and keep chasing them and thinking that I can convince them to join, and I might be able to through persistence and to wear them down, which is wrong. But the point is then I miss out on Marie because Tom comes along and sponsors Marie, and I might have sponsored Marie if I'd have gotten to her sooner. But because I was focused on trying to convince Sally to join, I missed out on Marie. Okay, you don't want to do that. Plus, you need speed and urgency. Okay, and what does it do when you respect a person's desire to back up? What are you doing? You're getting through that prospect and moving on to the next person, which does what? You would not believe how that speeds up your business. It may not seem like it, because you're physically getting up out of Starbucks and walking to your car and thinking, okay, well, that sucked, and going to your next appointment or maybe meeting your next appointment at Starbucks, and you're thinking, well, it doesn't seem like you're going fast, but I promise you, you're going fast. That message, a minute to a minute and 15 seconds, that is fast. And you're getting that answer right away, okay? And that is something that is speed, folks. That creates the speed your business needs, and it creates an urgency. And so if Marie does decide to join, she's going to remember that I was allowing her to back up if she wanted, that message was only a minute 15. And when she joins me, I can say, look, here's why we use that message. Here's the result of it. It creates speed. It creates urgency. It moves you on to the next prospect. It either divides people or brings them to you. Okay, and the point is that she'll get that. She'll say, yeah, that's exactly what you did with me. And I tell her the importance of creating speed and urgency, how that helps your business gain traction and catapults your business to its incredible heights. But you got to be fast about it. And that means speed and urgency. So you can see how all this plays together. All these little intricate details work together. If you like this information, please give us a thumbs up. If you like what you hear and you can understand the points we're making and you can see how this information can help you, please give us a thumbs up, a little heart. It's always great to hear that, see that. And if you will, please share, like, and comment this episode. This information could be helpful to our fellow network marketers across the globe. Okay, with that being said, now you got to realize that if Marie, if she's leaning on the edge of her seat, she's listening, she's saying, you know what, I like what Rob's saying, I can see potential here, then Marie may have a couple of questions. Now, if the questions are not, and let me repeat that, if the questions are not centered on the product, the company, the leadership, then I'll listen to her questions. If I can answer them right there, I will, but I will not go into a Q&A session, okay? Here's what I'm saying. We talked about this before. If Marie says, Rob, what about the ingredients? What's the product? And I tell her, I don't have a problem telling her, well, hey, it's a juice. Well, what's the ingredients? I don't know. You have to go to the website. And she might say, okay, well, why don't you know? Well, because I know it's safe. I know it works. It's been around a long time, and I use it, okay? But here's the thing. This is a money-making opportunity, okay? As long as the product is safe and people want it and they're going to use it, that's all I need to know, okay? And then I'm done. I'm not going to talk. If she wants to know the cost and the ingredients, I'll tell her, go to the website, okay? Why? Because it's all about speed and urgency. If you sit there and answer all of her questions, she may have, I only got 3 or 4 questions. Oh, okay, I can do that. Well, 3 or 4 turns into 8. And 8 could turn into 12. And what am I teaching her? That she can do that with her people when she's out there. And that she has to become a walking encyclopedia about the product, about the company, about the leadership. No. What do? You reinforce who you are. No, I'm a professional business builder. I understand how this business works. I've been in this business for 30 years. The product creates the volume. It's important, and it's important because people need to want it. It has to work. It has to be safe. It does that. Okay, if you want to know anything else about it, go to the website. That's not being rude. You can say that nicely. Same thing. And while I have their attention, I'll say, if you have any questions about the comp plan, have any questions about the company, about the leadership, please go to the website as well. Now, some people will say, well, what do you mean the comp plan? You don't know how much money? Oh, no, believe me, I know how much money I'm going to make. But I don't know. I don't get into the intricate details. I know what I'm capable of doing. I know the volume I'm going to create. I know exactly when I'm going to be paid for that. That's what I shoot for. All the rest of it is irrelevant. Because, guys, you got to realize that if I sit down, like we talked about before, Miss Marie, 100 times 100, what is that? 10,000 group volume. Why is that important? Because it gives you a barometer when you're looking at a new company, even old company, and you say, okay, for my time and my efforts, my commitment, my dedication, what am I going to get paid? Cash, no bonuses, no cars, no trips, cash. What are the company going to pay me if I create 10,000 group volume? Okay, that is a great barometer. Why? Because that is a threshold, if you will, between a medium-sized business and going into the big time. Okay, so you're saying to yourself, well, if I stop at the threshold, I have a really nice life. But if I really want the big business, I can shoot past that. But this is a great place for me to evaluate that decision. Here's the thing. 100 people doing 100 PV a piece, 100 PV's personal volume, that is an easy thing to achieve, because as you grow your business and it gets bigger and bigger, it's easier for 100 people to pop up in your organization that's doing 100 PV. 10,000 group volume is a very realistic, achievable goal if you do the business right, and it all starts with a message. The point is that when somebody says, well, what do you mean you don't know anything about the comp plan? Look, I got 2 goals here. To get 10,000 group volume, that's the threshold that I need to cross into the big time. Okay, I know how to do that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's simple, it's easy, it's a formula that's been used time and time again. And they say, what do you mean 100? What's 100 times 100? Well, it's 10,000. Okay, I can teach you very easily with the system I use how you can have 100 people in your organization doing 100 PV. Okay, Now, I don't mind answering a question like that, because what am I doing? I'm solidifying my knowledge and my experience in the message. What it's doing is reinforcing the message, the music to the ears message. It's showing them, okay, he knows what he's talking about. He did say that he has a system, and you know what? 100 times, yep, it's 10,000. And he says he knows how to do that. And I just say, hey, you know what? Just those 5 simple steps. It's all this business is about. It's easy. You can master those in the first couple hours. There's no training. And that's the only kind of discussion we'll have. Our conversation doesn't, guys, when I used to meet people, my meetings only lasted 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. But I wouldn't go into the comp plan. Why? Because the only thing I'm concerned about is the 10,000 group volume level and up. Okay. I don't care about pin level. I don't care about the beginning money, and I don't care about the transitional money. Okay. Why? Because my mindset is 10,000 group volume. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's what I got to do. Ms. Marie, does that make sense?
Oh, it absolutely makes sense. And again, you want to maintain that authoritative posture as you're speaking with them, because if you start going down the path of answering every little question they have or trying to explain everything in detail, you're eroding your credibility, and you're essentially teaching a system of duplication that's not going to work, because they're not going to be that expert and be able to replicate the answering of the questions and the depth of knowledge that you have.
Yes. And the thing is, guys, comp plans can be so difficult to understand. There's so many little nuances and how would you say, details, that it's hard to understand a comp plan from beginning to end. As I told you before, Marie, Randy Gage, who is a good acquaintance, and I guess you could call us friends. I haven't talked to him in a while, but the point is, we've always had a great relationship. He designs comp plans for network marketing companies, and that's a very hard thing to do. And we used to have discussions about that. And there's no such thing as a perfect comp plan. So if Randy had struggles with it, then why in the world would I waste my time trying to understand each and every comp plan? It's really not relevant. It's actually irrelevant. Okay, so we're not trying to dodge an important question here. As you guys get to understand comp plans and how the business works, you understand the statement we're making. Okay, look, you can say, okay, like if you don't want a big business, which I can't imagine, but if you don't want a big business, you can say, okay, 100 PV times 50 people. Well, that's 5,000 group volume. And you may be happy with that. And you can look at the comp plan and say, what am I going to get paid if I create 5,000 group volume a month? And maybe you're happy with that level. Okay. The point is, you can see there's not much difference between 5,000 and 10,000, guys. So the point is, once you got it on a roll, if you've got 50 people doing 100 PV, I'd encourage you to go for the 10,000, but that's the decision you have to make. The point is that that's the reason I bring that up, is because, look, just keeping this simple, not worrying about the comp plan. I told you 2 milestones right there: 5,000 group volume, 10,000 group volume. Remember, the 10,000 group volume is a threshold where you're stepping into the big time. It doesn't mean the moment you get to 10,000, you are big time. What it means is you're at the doorstep. From that point on, your business can really start rocking, and you have a legitimate chance to do something very special that very few people can do in any industry. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You're at that threshold. Why not put yourself in that position? So the thing is I just gave you 2 thresholds with using simple numbers that anybody could use. If you're not good with numbers, you get a calculator. 100 times 50 is what? 5,000. That's easy. Then you pull out the company's comp plan, you look at it, and you say, oh, that's what we paid. How easy is that? It's so easy. So you don't have to worry about the comp plan. So if you have a prospect ask you about the comp plan, you can tell them what we just told you, not in all this detail, but you get it. As she said, you're maintaining your professional posture. You're strong in your stance. You're a professional business builder. Remember that. You're not a network marketer. It's not a play on words. If you're a network marketer, you're going to lead with the product, and you're going to love the business model, and you're going to love the company, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the traits that quote unquote network marketers have, because they love the industry, right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely. And I will confess, I love the industry and I don't mind identifying as a network marketer, but the way I choose to function as a professional business builder. And the other thing I want to mention about the comp plan too is, as Rob has been mentioning here, he's talking just the income strictly from the volume going through your group. Well, oftentimes when you hit that 5,000 level, that 10,000 level, there are other bonuses involved. Some organizations have car programs, some include trips, all those types of things. You're talking strictly the money because you're the professional business builder and that's your main point of concern. People who get involved in the business with you as they achieve those levels and get those extra bonuses, that's
Yeah,
just gravy.
it is. Absolutely. And that's the points we're trying to make, guys, is that we want to make it clear to you that there's a distinct difference between the two, in that if you're serious about what you said, lifestyle, then you're going to need the money. If you want time freedom, you're going to have duplication. Okay. And duplication will create leverage. You say, what do you mean by that, Rob? When you duplicate yourself by sponsoring people that have the same characteristics you do, then guess what? You have a situation where not only is duplication taking place because you're quote unquote putting many Robs throughout your organization, because they're working when you can't, that is leverage. If Rob has to go in the hospital for 2 days for a routine thing, guess what? My business didn't stop growing. My leaders don't stop building their businesses. They have a dream that they're pursuing, and I've taught them how to pursue that dream. I've taught them all the things they need to know. They're not going to stop because in the hospital. They may send me a card, and they may call me and say, hey, hope you're doing all right, whatever. But the point is, they don't stop. So that's leverage. That's duplication. Well, that's not really duplication. Duplication started when you sponsored them and taught them how to do the business and they carried it out. That's duplication, but that's leverage, guys. That gives you the lifestyle. That's what some of these people want, and that's what's in the message. So that you can see there's a totally different process taking place here. And how many people could do 5 simple steps that they can master in 2 hours? Just about everybody. Just about everybody. But how many people can become product knowledge centered and remember all the information and spew that stuff up? And more times than not, you can push people away because they're going to walk away saying, that's a sales pitch. I don't want to do that. That's too much information. I don't want to do that. I don't want to push product. I want money. I want to make money. How do I do that in this business? Okay, that's what people want. More times than not in every case. And there's nothing wrong with loving the product. You just don't want to lead with the product. If you love the product, that's awesome. It's not like, look, there's been a couple of products I loved, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to get into it, but I guess there was a couple. I mean, look, I'm not a product person. I'm not a company person. I could care less about the company. As long as it continues to be, as long as it continues to exist and grow and it's stable, that's all I'm concerned about. I don't care about the owners. I don't care about the company. And I don't mean that in a mean way. What I'm saying is, as a business person, that is not of importance to me. Okay. I hope they're competent. I hope they can keep the company on the right track, the growth track. I hope that everything continues to go well. My job, they got their job to do, and I've got my job. Remember, you have, and essentially, the only thing you don't have is a physical building. You have a business just like they do. Your job is to build your business just like they are. Your job is to maintain your business just like them. Your job is to help your business grow just like they're trying to do. See, you have a legitimate business, so you got to be a business person. Why do I say I'm a professional business builder? Because that's what I am. I know how to make this business go. I'm a professional. I conduct myself as such. I'm serious about this business because this is big money. This is big time. You can make more money here than you can make in your whole life in 1 year if you do it right. So how is that not serious? Okay. But it all goes down to mastering the basics. And one of the basics is having the right mindset, using the music to the ears message, knowing what you're shooting for. And you got to relay that message and that confidence and your commitment and your vision to the person that's sitting on the opposite side of you, or a room full of people. That's how you do it. The boys are in there playing, as you can hear. And they're not crying today. They're actually having fun. So, but the thing is, hopefully you get that, folks, is that we're hammering this because it's important you understand completely what we're saying. Look, all of this is self-evident. Miss Marie understands it. I understand it. Other people that have been taught it understand it. They get it. It's like a light bulb comes on. They're like, why in the world didn't somebody teach me this before? Well, I cannot answer that, but we are teaching it. We're one of the few, if not the only ones, teaching it, because we understand how this business works. We understand that other people are not helping people, and you have a legitimate right to this type of information so you can be empowered to do great things sooner rather than later. Okay, but you got to do your part, and that part is have an open mind, evaluate the information as we present it. We're not trying to convince you anything. We don't care if you don't use it. We've done our journey. That's not the point. Okay, we're just sharing this information, hoping that you will understand how this business model works. And if you're not having success, what do you got to lose? Right, Miss Marie?
Yep, you want to employ the tools for sure. And Rob, I don't know, I know you mentioned before you're not going to share the whole music to the ears message on this podcast, but where can they get that information?
In the members area, of course, which is not available at this time. And it will be available down the road. And as I told people, and we talked about the other day, Miss Marie, there'll be a special price for all the people that follow us and all the people that listen to us. If you're serious about this business, if you truly want to use this business model to change your life, which we would be tickled pink to see your results, we will provide those type of people special pricing, as you can imagine, down the road. But the thing is that that's the only place they can get that at this time. And then, folks, just to let you know, this music to the ears message goes hand in hand with the call letter. We talked about the other day. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Richard Call, I'm not going to go into the story. But the Richard Call letter literally changed my business and my mindset about this industry. I didn't get it. It was so simple. And it really epitomizes what we're talking about right now. Not the message per se, although his message was much shorter, much more abrupt. But the point is that it was the same approach and the goal was the same. And that is to get people to make a decision. Okay. And the thing is that that call letter, when you combine it with the music to the ears message, threshold of profitability, the 5 simple steps, I'm telling you, you have an unbeatable combination. If you were to do nothing more than, as we talked about before, Miss Marie, go watch the videos, listen to the podcast. If you were to pick out certain things that we would recommend, the 5 simple steps, music to their ears message, threshold of profitability, get your first check, 4 critical mistakes. Those are only like 4 or 5 products that we have out of a bunch. Miss Marie knows how many products we have out there, and all of them are important. We don't create fluff just for the sake of creating a product. We only create what needs to be addressed, okay, and revealed. But the thing is that if you were to learn nothing more but those 5 things there, guys, you're on your way. You're on your way. There's nothing else to learn. And as you look, you need us as your business grows. I'm gonna tell you that, okay? Because things get a whole lot more difficult and a lot more challenging as your business grows. You remember, you're dealing with people. You're gonna have issues not only in a personnel area, okay, but I'm gonna tell you something. You're gonna be overwhelmed with money if you do this right, and it can change your life almost overnight, and it will blow you away. And if you're not responsible, you could waste this whole opportunity, not just with the money, but slowing down your business. Okay. And there's little things that I've talked about in past episodes of our podcast. There's little details and things. You got to watch what you're doing, what you say, how you conduct yourself, because all of that is critically important to your business hitting the big time. Totally different ball game once you get up to that 10,000 group volume level. Would you not agree?
Absolutely. You're looking at a whole different lifestyle. You're looking at a different set of problems is what it comes down to, right? We're kind of in the business of solving problems and addressing the issues as we grow. And once you hit that level, it's a different set of problems that need solving. That's all.
And not only that, here's the thing. You got to realize that dealing with other leaders can be a real challenge. They're strong-willed, they're bullheaded. They can bring a lot of challenges to your business. And so it's a totally different ballgame dealing with those people versus, actually the beginning phases of building your business is a lot more fun and entertaining than getting to the big time. Once you get to the big time, the only way you make it to the big time is because other people in your downline are going big time. Okay. You would have to have, we always talk about, Marie, how you may need 20 leaders in your business to get to the income level and lifestyle you want. I may need 32. Everybody's is different. There's no set leader number. Okay. Everybody has to build their business until their own business goes over top of that apex that we're talking about, where you now have a money-making machine that just spits out money, whether you working or not. Okay. And once again, Marie's could be 20, 21, mine could be 32, 33, whatever. Nobody knows that. But here's the thing. You want businesses that are doing that. In other words, if Marie had 20 businesses that were quote unquote, how would you say, they're medium sized, but on the verge of going big time. And yet she has probably 6 or 7 big time businesses, and all the rest of them are medium to rather small. And there's a bunch of them on the verge of going big. That's how she develops a big time business. Now, if Rob just kind of, and everybody else is kind of, I would need probably 50 or 60 small to medium sized businesses to even come close to the volume that she's creating, to even come close to the success that she's experiencing. Okay, that means I have to work that much harder and last that, and it'll take that much longer, okay, for me to get the same kind of success that she's getting. Is there anything wrong with that? Well, as we said yesterday, you don't want to be a grinder. I'm going to tell you, that'll take its toll not only on you, but your downline. But think about it. Why would you want to have 50 to 60 businesses that would equal what she's doing now with only 20? Okay, I don't know about you. I want my lifestyle now. I want my money now. I want to get it done and over with. And I want to have a number of very large to medium large businesses, okay, because there's power in that. There's excitement. There's great stories in that. There's great lifestyles I can promote. But if I have medium to small businesses, there's not a lot of great lifestyles to promote. There's success stories, but not the type that create the buzz that her business will do. Okay, her business has given her a lot of tools to work with. She can promote Mr. and Mrs., how they went from where they live to now where they live, and how they were able to pay everything off. Okay, I may only have 1 or 2 of those stories and I'm out of it, but she'll have multiple stories. And what does that do? That perpetuates success. Success breeds success. And that's what happens when you do it like that. So that's, again, why you want to shoot for the 10,000 group volume. And that all starts with a music to the ears message. And as you get bigger, all the little things you got to do to deal with the leaders and all that who have big egos as they get bigger themselves, that's a totally different ball game. We have that in the members area. Okay, and that's the only place you can get that information. No one teaches it. I can tell you they can teach it on one-on-one, Miss Marie, but they can't do it on the level that we are across the world. We're teaching this stuff across the world. Anything to add to that?
Nope, I don't think so. I'm just wondering what's the best way to summarize the music to the ears message?
It is the essence of duplication. It all starts. If you were going to ask me if there's one tool, one thing that we teach that ensures the duplication process, it's not just the 5 simple steps, okay? It's the message, because the message is the genesis of the whole thing. You join the business, okay? You learn the 5 simple steps, okay? And then what's your next step? It's to go out to your prospects, and so whether it's online, in person, whatever, or if you have a lead generation system, it all starts, guys. It all starts when you open your mouth. You don't have one person sponsored until you share that message, okay? And that message will ensure duplication, which will give you a chance at leverage, which will equal the lifestyle that you want, okay? But it all starts with the message. And what does the message do? It divides people. They're either in or they're out. And I mean, that's all there is to it. Okay. And what I mean by they're either in or they're out, they're in because they want to listen. They want to learn more. Okay. They're in the right crowd. The other people, no, that's not for me. No, I don't care about lifestyle. That's what it's designed to do. So in a nutshell, that's what it is, guys. It's a great divider. And it is the genesis of the duplication process. That's about as strong a statement as I can make about it, and about as clear a statement as I can make. There's nothing else that I could say to it. But you have to do it right. You have to use the keywords, okay? If you don't, you're just wasting your time. And can you create your own? Yeah, you can. And hopefully you make it better than mine. I don't know if that's possible, but you never know, because I'm already using the keywords that resonate with the leaders that you're looking for. But if you can find one that's better, kudos to you. I would encourage you to use it. So,
well, you always want to use something that has a proven track record, right?
right.
And I love that you've created this this gift for our listeners today and the people that are watching us live. We've got a free gift for you, just talking about that topic we've been on today, that music to their ears message. If you would visit us at our website, themlmsolution.net/music is where you're going to find that gift. So obviously we have a tremendous amount of information out there at our website. I encourage you to explore that, themlmsolution.net. But if you go specifically to themlmsolution.net/music, we've got a special gift for you right there today. Go grab that.
There you go. That's exactly right.
Oh, looks like we might have lost Rob there for a second. Well, we're just wrapping up anyway, and let me encourage you to visit us. You can find us on all the social media platforms by using the hashtag #TheMLMSolution. That's hashtag #TheMLMSolution. And hopefully we will see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, when we'll be back here with our podcast. Have a great day, everyone.
Welcome. Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, themlmsolution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.